Hello, everybody. Can everyone hear me?
Yes. And we are awake also.
Sorry?
We are awake also.
Okay, good. Nobody fell asleep. I know everyone's on a full stomach right now. Okay, so I prepared most of my presentation through text, so I have a few slides here that will accompany me. And I'm doing a little talk on patience and what I've learned from holistic science and how I applied it in situations where I needed patience. Feel free to interject, Lishan. No, this is fine. Okay, is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So patience. Find your way to emotional freedom. It sounds kind of too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. In fact, it's very much possible. Let me tell you how being patient in certain situations can really benefit your inner happiness. One of the most important qualities a person can have if she or he wants to spiritually grow is to be patient. With patience and persistence, you can overcome pretty much anything. So, why can it be hard to be patient? How can you improve your patience? And how can patience help you practically in life by applying the 5 principles of holistic science? Here are some thoughts that may give you some answers to these questions. So I have a little slide here with a cartoon, and I'll explain that briefly. So how can our society that exists on instant emails, frozen dinners, swab dinners, instant connections, Facebook, people are connecting to India today in, a matter of seconds. How can we teach our young how to apply patience in their life? The perception to people is that patience is disappearing from today's society. Before they wait or have any effort, they want results. And everything is moving fast in today's society. Instant gratification is actually a default setting in our brains and even our phones right now. So our society has adapted to this fast-paced way of life, and I have this comic here that says, a guy's asking to somebody, what are the 3 basic food groups? I don't know if all you guys can answer this, but this is how this guy answered. Frozen, canned, and takeout. So if we apply those to our daily life, if we ask, what are the 3 basic principles of patience? People could answer, act rashly, or, finish this task as quick as possible. They may not know how to approach something in full patience, and they may, execute a certain situation without thinking rationally. So I'm not really saying that technology is putting down our society. I'm just kind of trying to explain that this is sort of a partial explanation why patience is hard to understand and to use in our advantage in today's society. Today's way of living doesn't pay much attention to our patience. It wants you to do things right now, get this right now, buy one, get one free. You don't think twice to get something. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it. And after a few years in this society, it may seem normal to get things instantly. And the thought of delaying instant gratification may seem like it won't be an option. Many people in this fast-moving world do not see the practice of patience on a regular basis. Patience can truly benefit your daily life. And here I have another comic, showing instant gratification. It says, runners, on your mark, get set, go. And the miles is actually 0. So, they're getting this instant gratification without, any effort. All right, patience is important because we all must come to terms with the fact that many things won't happen as soon as we'd like them to. But using the 5 key principles instilled in holistic science, if it is destined to be, then it will be. And it's also known as Vivasi Shakti. Imagine you are a person who prefers summer, and it's currently the polar vortex like last December. Right now you are very unhappy, and what you have to realize is that your unhappiness is actually your own choice. What will being angry over the slow changing of seasons actually accomplish? Eventually it'll be summer. There's nothing you can do to make it come faster, so why not wait and wait it out happily? This, in fact, could lower your stress levels, believe it or not, being patient. Learn how to accept the things you cannot change, and you will be free of emotion and much more in tune with your inner peace. And so here I have another cartoon, actually. I like cartoons. So I have these two, I guess we can call them people. They've chosen to be happy in this cold winter, and instead of, being impatient with the weather, they're being optimistic and continuing on with their life. There's a second reason why patience can be important. Some things in life get better the more you wait. Here's a small example. Say you take that, that canned, pav bhaji or something you get from the fridge at the Indian grocery store. That will take you maybe 3 minutes to unfreeze and eat, but trust me, if you eat that homemade and time taken to make, it'll taste much better. I have an example, a personal experience where I had a tough time, waiting, but I actually used holistic science to my advantage and got through my time of waiting. When I graduated college, I had a consulting job lined up. The company that I was working for is large, and getting staffed on a project, that's the way consulting works, is you get staffed on projects. And getting staffed on these projects is not necessarily easy, especially if you are new to the company. So you have to reach out and show your skills to get staffed. And if you're not staffed for maybe X amount of months, you can get terminated from your job. So I observed many of my colleagues who have not acquired self-realization from holistic science, and I noticed a lot of them panic and show negative attitudes, and after 3 months of waiting, many people were angry at the staffing team, and some of them actually became discouraged. Many stopped trying to learn the technical skills that would help them get staffed on these projects, and many even said, you know what, I'm going to just quit and look for another job. And the chances of getting another job, who knows what they would be. However, my perspective was a little bit different from my colleagues because I had applied the 5 principles of holistic science in this situation. Although it was a time where I could have panicked, there was many times where I asked my dad, hey Dad, when am I going to get staffed? Can you look for a job for me? Can you look for a job for me? Or I could have been impatient and started looking for a job, but at the time I tried to be patient, which allowed me to think a little bit more rationally. I got a chance to take a step back and think about, lay out the whole picture and think about how I can approach the situation. I took this time to get certifications and gain skills that could help me get staffed. I started to reach out and network with the company's community to present my skills, and I remained persistent. I looked at this time as a period of learning and instead of a period of panicking and impatience. I was not angry, nor was I discouraged, and instead I was free of emotion, and I kept a positive attitude while waiting, and this is what I have this slide here. Patience is not the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting. As an individual with holistic science self-realization, I had applied the practice of patience to allow things to fall in place. And certainly, soon enough, I had landed a project, and I still am on the project, so it did pay off to, you know, get the skills that I have now in that downtime period. So the final way that patience can help you is that it will remove the incentive to act rashly. You can improve your patience if you sit back and think before acting or speaking. You may realize that there is an alternative solution that would benefit you and yourself. This will prevent you from acting negatively and prevent you from buying new karmas. The longer you wait, the more you will be able to control your emotions so that you can think rationally. I'm sure we can all think of a time in our lives where we have acted or spoke out rashly without thinking. And if we had applied the principle of patience, then the outcome would have resulted in inner peace and satisfaction. And so I have a slide here. Think before you act and think twice before you speak, because sometimes when you do speak, actions can speak louder than words, but it goes the same way, vice versa. So here's a little summary of what I spoke about today. I think at the end of the day, in my experience, I really have learned how to apply holistic science and self-realization, and how to apply the 5 key principles of holistic science in my daily life. I think I can truly see a difference on how I may handle situations very differently from others without holistic science insight facing the same situation. I learned from this process there is not a single materialistic thing in life that you can truly get aggravated over. I think if our life consisted of maybe 1,000 years, if our lifespan was 1,000 years, then maybe it would be worth fighting for something. But in theory, our human life is too short to hang on to lingering emotions. Patience in our short lives is necessary in our short lives. Our lives are tools to attain liberation. Moksha is what I'm trying to say. And we are to remain neutral without binding new karmas. So be patient and free yourself from emotions. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Trupti. So I have not been able to keep to any diet all my life, but I'm really happy to tell you that I've incorporated all 3 food groups in my life, you know, canned, frozen, and takeout. So happy to get some points on that. Next session is going to be led by Dr. Sailesh Anandji. He's going to give you an option of one of the 2, whichever you want to go first. So let me turn it over to Sailesh Anandji.